Hello guys, and welcome back to Accurate Peeps YouTube channel, and I'm glad to come your way again today with this lesson, and it is the continuation of our previous entry method that we're looking at. That is the single candle order block method. I did the part 1 in the previous video, and today I'm looking at the part 2 of it. It's quite unfortunate I have to stay away from you guys a little to take care of my health, but by the grace of the Almighty God, I am well and healthy, and I'm going to be bringing you more videos this week from today till I meet you guys on either Friday or Saturday. I'll meet you guys live, but before then I'll release series of videos talking about the various type of entries so that you guys will be informed on the types of entries we have before I meet you live on either Friday or Saturday, depending on the day that I'll be free. All right, enough of the talking. Let's dive into today's video. But if you have not watched the lessons yet, these are the lessons here on the channel Accurate Peeps. Just type Accurate Peeps in the YouTube search button, search bar, and then you will see our logo. Click on it. All the lessons are here, or you can just go to the playlist. You click on playlist and you go straight to this first playlist here that says True Smart Money Concept, SMC. That is the course that we are taking right now, and watch all the lessons there. We have 30 videos there. Watch each and every one of them. I've made it very simple to understand, very easy to grab the concept of smart money trading. So guys, do well to watch each and every video. And this was our last lesson, okay? That was about 9 days ago on the single candle order block entry type part 1. So today I'm doing part 2 for you guys. I am sure you are going to enjoy it. So without much ado, let's dive in. All right, so before I talk about anything, let's quickly recap all that I've talked about in the previous lesson. That is the single candle mitigation entry type, the part 1. Let's quickly summarize everything that I talk about. So I spoke about the single candle order block being created both in impulsive move and corrective move. So I said that it can occur in the impulse, that is the trend, and can also occur in the reverse, that is the pullback. Okay, so whether pullback or the trend, we can always be able to find single candle order blocks, okay, to trade from. But my advice to you the last time was that always look toward trade with the trend. But it doesn't mean you cannot pick quick reversal moves from reversal points that have tapped into our higher time frame OBs. Okay, I'll show you some examples on the chart today. Okay, so mostly when market sweeps the IDM in the higher time frame, it creates a single candle order block. Okay, so I spoke last time that, okay, for instance, if we, let's say this is an IDM, we have it like this, and market just sweeps the high and didn't close above it, candle body above it, we can look out for single candle order block and use that as our entry point. Okay, so now there was one thing I didn't talk about in the previous lesson, and that was that we can use single candle order blocks for aggressive entry and also for conservative entry, depending on your appetite and how willing you are to take risk. I'll explain maybe deeper in this lesson, because if you see the trades I took, these are trades I took yesterday and today on gold. This two was yesterday, and this one was today, which was 11R. This was 6R. I lost the first one, and yeah, because this is a 50-50 OB, so I wasn't surprised. But mostly I use single candle order block for most of the entries here, and the aggressive type, not the conservative type. Okay, so I'll speak about that, okay, in this particular lesson. Now, this happens in both bullish and bearish scenarios. Okay, these things is both bullish and bearish scenarios that we are looking at them. So for instance, this is what I'm referring to as a sweep. You can see the high here was what swept, candle body closed below and not above. So something like this, we can just quickly look out for single candle mitigation, order block. We mark it, and then it mitigates. It's being mitigated. We take our trade, either by confirming a change of character on the entry time frame, or depending on what type of OB is formed on the lower time frame, then we might consider IDM or not, that is inducement or not. Okay, so we spoke about all that. And then also I said, if market takes IDMs and close candle body above the IDM, then we have to wait for it to tap into our decisional OB or our extreme OB and make an entry. Okay, so if let's say this is our IDM here, okay, so let's say this is our IDM here. Okay, for instance, let me use here. So here we have our IDM here, and then we have the decisional OB, and we have the extreme OB. Okay, here candle body closed above the inducement. All right, so what do I need to do? I wait for price to tap into the decisional OB, and then I make entry. And that was what I did here. If the decisional OB was not to give me an entry opportunity, then I'm going to wait for it to get to the extreme order block. All right, okay guys, now when market taps on our decisional OB, we need to wait for a single candle order block to form before making an entry. Why? Because this order block, as I said in the previous lesson, is a 50-50 probability. Okay, now I'm moving fast because I've already spoken about this thing, but I just want to refresh your minds before we dive deeper into this whole concept. Okay, this whole concept. So mostly, let's say you are using H1. For instance, with this gold, my higher time frame is H1. As you can see, I mark my higher time frame zone on H1, and I took my entry on 5 minutes and 1 minute. I combine all. Okay, 5 minutes and 1 minute. Sometimes if I'm not seeing something clear on the 5 minute, I go down to the 1 minute to look for other opportunity or information details there, and then I make my entry from that, based on that. Okay, so always all you need to do is to wait for market to create a clear reversal condition before you take a trade on the decisional point of interest. Always make sure of that. Don't ever forget this particular thing. Always make sure there is a reversal condition on the decisional OB before you make a trade. All right, so this is where the importance of the single candle order block comes in. The single candle order block gives you an idea of a reversal coming to take place in the market. Very, very important. So take note of that. Now, if there is both IDM sweep and a previous candle high or low, okay, depending on the trend, okay, whether bearish or bullish, okay, then we can mark the shadow of the single candle order block and sell or buy without an IDM on the extreme on the entry time frame. Okay, so excuse me. So for instance, let's say this is our 15-minute order block. Okay, and then what happens? Price, let's say we are coming down like this, price taps here, but then what happens is that it just swept this guy, okay, and then also it didn't close candle body below it, and then it went up. What will happen is on the what is the name, on the lower time frame, which is maybe our 1 minute or our 5 minutes, this drawing I'm making is on that time frame, okay, but the zone here is our higher time frame of 15 minutes or 1 hour, okay. Then it on the lower time frame, we realize that it swept this low and didn't candle close below it but closed above it. That is a sweep. It sweep this candle as well as it just tap in for liquidity from the zone. Are you getting the point? When we have that type of what concept, okay, or that type of scenario, then we don't need to wait for an IDM to buy, okay. But if you only sweep the zone but candle close below this guy, the previous low or high depending on the trend, okay, then that one we need an IDM like this to occur. We take the IDM before we make what an entry for the buy, okay. But if nothing like that happen, then that one, once price, if let's say there is a sweep here, okay, there was a sweep here, if there was a sweep here, sorry about that, let's say there was a sweep here, okay, then that one we just take our entry as price reverses here like this. We take our entry and then we enter the market for a buy on the demand zone on your entry time frame over here. Let me change this color to maybe orange, okay. So you just take your buy without IDM. But if it didn't sweep here, that is when, if candle closes below, then that is where we need to wait for our IDM, okay guys. So take note of that, guys. It's very important for you to keep these things in mind, okay. All right, so that was what I was talking about. And then the next thing I want to remind you of is that if price just sweeps the POI or IDM without sweeping the liquidity of the previous candle, then we wait for IDM before selling or buying, okay. I think I've just talked about that, okay. Sorry, I've talked about that, okay. Now don't forget, or let me put it this way, don't sell or buy just anywhere because you sell you saw a sweep of the low or high by a candle of a candle, okay. So let's say in this pullback, just because you see sweep of low, then you are buying. You should know that this is a counter trend, okay. But for instance, let's say we are in a pro trend and then you are scaling, okay. That one, when you see the sweeps, you can take your entry, but be wise, okay. Note your liquidity levels, especially your higher time frame liquidity levels, because those are the points price can reverse from. If there is a sweep, if there is a tap into the higher time frame OBs, then price can reverse from those areas. So there are areas you should always be paying attention to. Very, very key and important. You should take notice of that, guys. Very, very important. This is why I'm still repeating these things before I even dive into today's video, okay. Now always wait for higher time frame inducement to be created and a higher time frame POI, either extreme or decisional POI, to be mitigated before focusing on the candle pattern, either single candle, order block for your entry, or what is the name, any of the other entries, the flip or the chalk methods, okay. Now if you always focus on candle structure only, you will always be hitting your stop losses, because that is when every sweep of a candle low or high, you want to be buying or selling without thinking whether it has tapped into a higher time frame demand or supply, okay. So you need to keep an eye on these things so that you will not be losing trades anyhow, okay. Very, very important. Now always get an area of interest first. Make sure you get your OB or your IFC, your demand and all those stuff. You understand? Always get them first, okay, before identifying the candlestick formation. That's why I taught you the two types of structure: the overall structure, which gives us the POIs, and then we have the candlestick structure, which helps us with the entries, okay, and the creation of what our IDMs. All right, always make sure you follow these rules. This way you will easily understand how market is obeying your order blocks. Okay guys, very important. I think enough. I've spoken enough of the theory. Now let's get back to our chart. Okay, let's get back to the chart and let's see how these things play out on the chart. Very important. Let's see how these things play out on the chart so that we can understand few things. Sorry that my chart is nasty. I think let me open a different this thing, gold chart. Okay, using different broker. I don't want to, because I'm still paying attention to some details on this chart, so I don't want to use it. Let me use a different one, okay, so that I can use that one for the lesson. All right guys, if this is your first time here, whilst I wait for the chat, if this is your first time here on Accurate Pips, do well to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on the bell notification icon. Okay, very important, so that you stay notified every time we release a new lesson. And that reminds me, those of you asking me about prop firms that I use, okay, I've dropped some in the description of the videos. You can click on it and sign up and get 20% discount on any account that you purchase. Okay, very cool deal, right? 20%. Maybe I'll do a video maybe reviewing some of these prop firms so that you guys can be informed on how to make decisions on which of them to use. Okay, with that said, let's dive in. I think this is what under, so let me use another broker. Let me see, either FOREX.com or 8cap. Okay, let me use FOREX.com. Okay, now one advice I'll give you guys is this: whenever you are trading, listen very well, whenever you are trading, the broker that you are using to trade, always use that platform, the broker to what? To do your analysis. Okay, for instance, when I'm trading prop firms, most of the prop firms use 8 caps. Okay, so I use 8 caps to analyze trades I take on what? My prop firms. Okay, that's why I see that each of the pairs I trade, these are the pairs I trade personally. Okay, GU, EU, USD, JPY, AUD, USD. You can say I have 3 of each: gold, US 30, and then the XY is what is just US in the dollar index. Okay, I just use it to check the direction of the dollar pairs. Okay, since they are the major pairs I trade. You get a point? Okay, all right. So you can see I have 8 cap here. Okay, 8 cap. All right, then I have FOREX.com and then under. I compare them. The reason why I'm saying this is that there are some brokers that the wick of their candles don't create, maybe single candle mitigation might not be created here on this broker, but might be created here. So you need the idea. So what I do is I compare all the 3. So if at this point this one is making single candle and this one has not given me single candle, I can still take my trade quickly before even it creates it. Okay, this is just something I've observed myself and I just want you guys to know. All right, okay, so this is our H1 time frame, and as we can see, market was previously bullish here, then we converted into a bearish move during the week. Okay, you know, Sunday night was when the market opened. Okay, now I taught you a whole lot of things. Structure, I taught you how to mark your structure accurately. I taught you how to mark your liquidity level. I gave you session liquidity, weekly liquidity, daily liquidity. I taught you how to find your OBs and so on, and I just love liquidity. Liquidity is so great. So most of the time I love to trade with the sweeps. Very important. I love to trade with the sweeps, okay? And it's very interesting when doing that. All right, so now let's see from here where this is our last high, okay? This is our last high here. So let's see where is our IDM, because this is our high, but where is our IDM that confirmed our high, our last valid our last valid pullback, okay? Good. So let's see over here. So this candle here, the low was taken out, and then it didn't break. That is equal highs. So this is a valid pullback. So let's see if price took out this IDM. Yeah, it was swept. Price swept that low, so that gives us our IDM. Okay, now beautiful. So now this was our high over here, like how I put it, normal high. Okay, so there is a candle close above that. But the thing is that price didn't go above this guy. Okay, price didn't go above this guy to create a new for us to look for a new high. It ended here. Okay, so this kind of like a single leg. So let's see where is our actual low. Yeah, where is the valid pullback? Okay, no. So let's see. Okay, all right, so this was an inducement taken by price. It didn't break above here, so we cannot confirm that as a high. Let me see here. Okay, all right, so I think there is a little sweep here. There is a little sweep over there. Then price came down, and then we went up like this. I think candle body close somewhere here. So something like this. Okay. Sorry, I'm not good with drawing, so I beg you people. Something like this. Okay, so we have this. We have our low here. That is the lowest point, and then our high here. Okay, which means that if we are dealing with normal structure, then if you are dealing with normal structure, this is our lowest point over here, and then this our highest point. This is our inducement. So unless this side is broken, let me use the line, okay, so that I'll stop putting crooked drawings on the chart for you guys. Okay, so if you want to talk about structural change of character, then we wait for this guy to break. I'm talking about H1. I'm talking in terms of H1, because currently that is what I'm using as my higher time frame. Okay, because here this would have been our IDM. It wasn't taken out. This is why this place is not our how do we call it, our valid high. Okay, just a normal pullback and then we went up. We are looking for valid pullback, so this cannot be counted as a valid pullback here, so we cannot like talk about this being what. And moreover, this guy didn't break this high, okay? And if this guy was to what break this high, that is why we even be looking at this guy, okay? All right, so now this guy has not even taken out this guy yet, okay, for us to consider it as a change of character. So still we are what, we are having our overall structure, we are still bullish, okay? Now we have our break of what structure here. Here is not a break of structure, it's just a normal high that has been what has been broken, because we don't have the IDM over here until this guy went up and then sweep this valid pullback to give us the confirmed high, okay? All right, but then look at here, okay? Now we took out this high, but then we candle closed above it in the higher time frame, okay, in the higher time frame. And then market, let me increase this so that you guys can see very well. Okay, see, candle closed out above this guy, candle body closed above this guy, okay? And then price, so this was something I was talking about. This movement here was something I was talking about before, like in the theory, before I started coming to the chart. You see here, this is kind of a single candle order block here, okay? You don't just start buying because you have seen price. No, did it tap on what, a higher time frame order block? Okay, those are the kind of things you need to what, to understand. All right, okay, so when we see something like this, okay, when we see something like this, when we see price do something like this, then what you need to do is you can mark this guy like this, okay? Remember, this is not a proper single candle order block on the higher time frame, but this is an order block on the lower time frame, okay? Well, it's because of my experience, that is why I've been on the chart for some years now, so I'm able to identify hidden order blocks, okay? So now if you go onto the lower time frame, realize that this is what, an OB, okay? So what we are going to do is we'll go down to the lower time frame, and then we look for confirmation to, remember we are in how do we call it, we are in an uptrend. So this type of moves, we are just going to be what, doing short-term sells, okay, until maybe we get to our how do we call it, our decisional OBs or extreme OBs to continue with what, buying in the market, okay? So let's go to 5 minutes and let's see. All right, so this is what market is doing on 5 minutes. As I said, you should always make sure that you see what you are looking for on your entry time frame before you make an entry. Now remember, I said we mark that we come to lower time frame, but remember we still need our IDM to be taken on what, on our higher time frame. Don't forget, on our higher time frame, because market can decide to continue going up. So when we come to the lower time frame, what I normally do is I will wait for the right opportunity, okay, for the what, for the right opportunity to what, to take place. Now in the case of the lower time frame too, I'll look at structure. So where is my last valid? So this is where I was talking about, I sometimes go with risk entry. Okay, I enter before setting confirmation, but still I look out for my major confirmation on that lower time frame before even making that risk entry. All right, so I'm teaching everything now. We have wasted a lot of time, so I'm combining everything, both the right way and the aggressive way. Okay, conservative way and then aggressive way. So this here is what is a valid pullback, because this candle's low has been taken out. So if price happens to take this low here, then I can look to, and it gives me any single candle order block in this area, then I can look to make an entry, aggressive entry. I call it aggressive entry. Conservative entry will only come when price has finished taking our higher time frame IDM, that is the H1 IDM, and reverse back here or anywhere that we have an opportunity to sell before looking for our buy, because we are supposed to be buying, but maybe I feel like I cannot wait till that happen, but quickly I want to take something out of the market. So that is what I'm looking at over here. Okay, so let's play this and see. Okay, all right, now look at this. Price sweeps this low. Remember, this area was area of liquidity that has been taken out, though price closed above with candle body. That's why I want this kind of confirmation. So I'll see this as my change of character on the 5 minute. Okay, quickly, because still this is a higher time frame OB. Remember, now this guy is a single candle. Why it sweep this guy and then mitigates this area of our 1 hour week zone. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is to what? Oh, so sorry. So sorry. Let me go back to H1 so I can locate. Okay, so let me do this again. All right, sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to 5 minutes. So those of you have been asking me about how can I make an entry, maybe like if the trade is gone and all those stuff. So here now, remember, we are looking for every detail. There is what imbalance between this and this guy and this guy. So I have my single candle order block here. When price mitigates it, I'll be looking for what? An entry. Okay, my single candle order block. But remember, because this is risk entry, okay, mostly I try to look for what? Inducement. If I don't find inducement, I still take some risk, but very, very minimal risk. Okay, so here the result, there is inducement here, because this is a valid what? Pullback. This is a valid pullback. So now if price takes this guy, this inducement, if price takes this inducement here, then I can comfortably take an entry here and put my stop loss just above the shadow here. Okay, remember, this is risk entry. So sometime, and where my take profit will be is where we have the H1 inducement level. Okay, this is just a quick scalp, so I'm not going to be looking to stay in the market for too long. All right, because inducement have not been taken on the lower time frame, but I'm trying to scale in quickly. All right, good. Now let's look at this. If let's say this time frame 5 minutes still went down and then we took out the IDM, then now I can target the nearest decisional OB. Because remember, if we want to continue with the buy, we are going to start from what? The decisional OB after the IDM on the higher time frame. Okay, so this is a secret. I'm just based on my own trading skill. I'm telling you how you can sometimes scale in this type of opportunities. All right. Okay, so let me bring this back again. All right, so now let's see what price does. Okay, good. So now let's go back to our H1. I think let me do this double view. So let me do this one, the H1. Okay. Let me change this also to FOREX.com. Okay. Quickly. All right. Sorry, this video will be a little long. This one will be a little long. Okay. So bear with me. I think let me do this one rather H1. Okay. All right. And let me do this side, our 5 minutes. Now let me look for the area where we are dealing with here. Okay, all right. So this is where we are dealing with. Okay, as you can see over here, this is where we are dealing with, and you can see we have tapped into what our IDM. We sweep it. But see, we've not swept this guy. Okay, we've not swept this guy. We still close a little bit below it. We still close what? Candle. So that one alone is giving me what? More vim. Let me put it that way. It's giving me more vim. Okay. So two things. Market can pick my entry or not. Okay. So let's see. Let me bring this guy like this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so let's play and see if we were able to scale into that entry or not. Remember, this was a valid pullback, but this is not a valid pullback because this is an internal move. Okay, so this is still our valid IDM. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's see if price will scale in before we go down. All right. Okay. All right. So still, let me use this so that we can have a fast movement. Okay, so let's see if price picked our entry. As you can see, price didn't pick our entry, and that is cool because moreover we are just trying to scale in. What did price do? Price only filled the imbalance up to the what? To the CE. Okay, and then that is the midpoint of what? This imbalance here. Price just filled that, and price is what? Is making a move. So now we begin to what? Remember, we have what? We have taken our what? Our IDM. So we need to go back to H1 and look for what? And look for our decisional OB. Okay, for the buy, you need to look for what? Our decisional. So this is our IDM. Where is the nearest how do we call it? The nearest demand zone or OB just after what? Our IDM. Okay, so here we can see over here all everything is mitigated. Then we have this imbalance, large imbalance. So this area here is our nearest what? OB. Okay, so what we call our decisional OB. So we need to look for some confirmation on the lower time frame before we make entry. Remember that. Then let's see, do we have, now let's go to our lowest point and see if we have an extreme OB that we will be dealing with. Okay, so this is our high here. Okay, now good, over here let's see. Okay, this is the area of what? Imbalance. Okay, there is no imbalance between this guy. This is the main candle here. Okay, this is the main candle here. All this area, everything has been mitigated. This guy mitigated by this, so everything here mitigated, but we have some minor imbalance here. So you know, imbalance is also a zone. Sometimes you can use it. So I'll use this candle here as my extreme OB. Okay, so let's see what happened. This is our extreme OB. As you can see, price have already even tapped on it, and we will get there to see what happens to that. Okay, now we didn't get the scale in over here, so let's go back to the lower time frame. Now that we have identified our various zones on the higher time frame. Okay, so let's see, we are still on 5 minutes, and I've not seen any proper entry decisions here to even take trade to. Okay, let me see here. Now okay, I think I'll talk about this one in the next entry model, how to use the order flow also to take entry. Just that I like using that one on 1 minute, since it is kind of low risk. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Okay, so here somebody will say, okay, this is a single candle order block because it has taken the high of this particular candle. But remember, this is a counter trend. We are still bullish. Okay, so not all zone. And moreover over here, what you need to understand is this guy only came to mitigate this order flow. Okay, this order flow. So the best point to take a trade over here was when price tap into the order flow here. Then you can take trade based on this order flow. That is if it will not give you higher risk to reward ratio. Okay, right? But it's not every order flow I trade. If I'm trading order flow, I want to trade it with the trend and not the counter trend. Okay, all right. So here also we can trade from this point, this area here. This is a proper single candle order block, but I don't trust it that much. Okay, so this is 50-50. Okay, for you to take the risk on it. Okay, if it mitigates, maybe you can risk something and put your stop loss few pips, okay, above the shadow over there, and you target, in this case you target your how do we call it, your decisional OB. Okay, that is your target. Your decisional OB is your target, because that is the first area we are looking to what? We are looking to buy from. Okay, so let's see if price taps into that entry and if it played out or not. Okay, so price didn't tap into it, and that is cool. Okay, let's see. I think it did or not. Let's see. Okay, it missed by few pips. It missed it by few pips. Okay, so price didn't tap on that. So let's see. And all this, I'm using the single candle. Listening to all the things I'm mentioning, I'm using the single candle order block to determine all these entry points. So I marked single candle on the lower time frame here, and you saw where my target was. Okay, so we missed this entry. You don't force the entry. Okay, once you miss, you miss. Once you miss, you miss. You don't force it. All right, so this is where we are now. Yeah, this was where we missed the entry. Okay, where all I'm not seeing any proper area to make an entry from. This and single candle. This is a valid pullback. This is a single candle order block. We came here. This is also a single candle order block. But look at here. Here there is no proper imbalance here. Okay, but here give us an imbalance. So you can take a risk over here. Can take a risk over here, and also here your target yet again is your SL just above here. Okay, your SL just above. All right, okay, so I want us to be quick with this so that the time will not be the video will not be too long. Already I know this is going to be too long. Yeah, so our target is our decisional OB. So let's see. Here we realize it has already picked that order. So let's see how it ends, whether we hit target or not. We will see. Okay, but remember, the reason why we are taking profit at our decisional, because that's where we need to first take our first buy entry. Okay, now over here, once price take this particular low here, okay, this one here, you can move your stop loss. You take partial and you move your stop loss to break even. All right, I think let's see here. Okay, so that is our target over there. Let me see this. So this counter trend. Okay, this 13R. Okay, 13R on counter trend, and that is fantastic. Okay, and now we have now gotten into our decisional OB. So let me go back here. So you see how I scale the counter trend. Now let me show you something here. Look at this. Based on counter trend, this is this is a valid OB here, and what happened, it took the high. Okay, this is a sweep. This is a sweep here. This is a sweep. All right, you see, that is a proper liquidity or sweep. You remember when I was talking about we can scale in risk without doing this thing, without waiting for inducement and co. Okay, these are the type of entries I was talking about. So here like this, for instance, once this guy sweeps the high like this and sweep the previous candle, you see this closed bullish. So what I'll do is I'll just mark this high, okay, immediately, and take my entry on the next candle open. I see candle open mitigates that. Let's see something. That was a very quick one there. So let's this is supposed to be our next entry like this. Okay, and still the target. But first, when you measure the target, then it is not at least 1:3, okay, at least 3R, okay. If you are taking counter trends, at least the risk to reward should be at least 3R, okay. So this just little, okay. All right, so this is how many? 7R. So that is cool, okay, that is cool. So now on the next candle open, let's see what we are tapped in. You can see we are tapped in, okay. And let's see, did we get to our target? Yes. So that is a quick 7R, and already you made about 13R from this, okay. So you can scale these counter trends using the liquidity concept, okay. These are examples I'm setting to you, okay, but always follow the rules. I'm just showing you that these things work, and this single candle order block is very powerful if you get the concept very well, okay. Now we have tapped into our, so this is the last part of today's lesson, because I don't want to have set enough example, but then now we are into our decisional OB, and it is with the trend now. So now this is where I was talking about we need to wait for change of character, and also a single candle order block formation, and then we also wait for what? Inducement to form before we do what? We make our entry. But if we have this type of formation, the one we just had here, if we have that type of single candle formation here, then that one we can easily take our entry, okay. So let's see the next candle. Good. So this is short, this is 2 rejections inside here, okay. And look at this candle, okay, it closed body just above the zone, and then the next candle also closed body. Let me increase this so that we see it well. Let's be sure, okay. Let me delete this. We have already seen this thing already, so let me delete that so that I can focus here. All right, so here you can see we sweep this guy and we close out candle body above it, and then we sweep this guy again and close candle body above it. You get the point? Good. This is why if let's say we are taking this guy here as our order block, we are not just going to put our stop loss just below it, because we know market can still go down. You get the point? Market can still go down. Now remember that this zone was created on the what? On the H1 time frame. So sometimes when you come to the lower time frame, what you need to do is you have to go into, when you expand the zone, let me delete this also because we are done with this. I think let me go back to my single window so that I can finish this quickly. Almost an hour spent. Okay, so this is where we marked the 1 hour zone. So what I normally do is look at this candle here took the low here, took this low as well. So these are valid order block, but then you can see, as you can see here, price mitigate this order block, but the shadow is also mitigated, because this small wick here mitigated this shadow. So this here is our valid order block because there is a valid imbalance in between that guy. So this guy becomes our valid order block. Let me change the color. Okay, so we can mark this area here and make our entry from that area, from that refined order block. Okay, from our refined order block, when price taps into it. So let's go back. So as you can see, price taps into what? Into this. This is our single candle. So where is playback to? So this is where price taps into our order block. Okay, so this become our single candle. Sometimes people are skeptical because the body is very small. Yes, it's very small. So sometimes we just have, that's why you need this confirmation to make your entries. Okay, so now aggressive entry. Then if you want to go with aggressive entry, that is when you are going to what? You are going to take direct single candle entry here. But because this is a decisional OB, most of the time I'm very careful with taking entry. So yesterday's gold, for instance, the entry I took was the aggressive type, that the first trade, that is why I lost it. But the second trade was the extreme order block. So when I took the aggressive entry, I won that trade. Okay, all right, so let's take a quick look at this this guy. So here, if you are taking the aggressive trade, it means this is how we are going to go. And remember, because we are buying, like we are bullish, we are going to be targeting the H1 high. Okay, the H1 high, this high here. Okay, that is our target. All right, so that will be 16R if everything goes well. All right, so let's see what happened quickly before we end this lesson. So let's play this and see. Okay, so this get us tapping because we refined our zone and our SL is just below our zone. You see, we were not taught, though this swept the low of this candle, we were not stopped out. Okay, that is one thing you need to take notice of. But let's see, will this go our way or will it go against us? Okay, now there is a way to scale in. Maybe let's say you miss this entry, there's a way to scale in other entries, but I'll talk about them as we go on, because I need you to understand the single candle order block before I start to talk about them. And what do we call it? Chalk with inducement and chalk without inducement, flip with inducement and flip without inducement entry types. Okay, all right, so let's see. So we've scaled in this, we went in. Now if let's say we take out this area, this inducement, okay, you can take partial. Why? Because of this area, though it is counter trend, it is also showing a high probability of hot reversal. Okay, all right, and then when we reach here, we can take what is the name, a more partial, and then move our stop loss to break even. So that is something you should pay attention to as well. And if we lose this trade, it is a valid loss. Okay, as I said before, it's not every trade that you are going to win. You should be aware of that. You will not win every trade. So let's see. Let me use the quick play. Okay, so we can see price doing its own thing. Can see price doing its own thing. Let me increase this guy. Okay, so let's see. Price came back to our entry. So here. Let's see if it got to the point I was talking about. Let's see. Yes, so here you can see it sweeps just a little, over here, and you can what? You can take partial. See that? You can take what? Partial over here. It's going to be like 1:2, but like it's worth it because of the price action taking place here. Okay, so it is worth taking that. And then remember, this is also your decisional OB. That's one thing also you have to what? You have to understand. So your decisional OB. So the probability is 50-50. So you have to do everything to protect yourself. Let's see. And then our stop loss to break even. All right, so we went above this guy. Good. Now let's see. Do we get to our major partial? Yeah. So here we got to our major partial. Okay, where we can what? We can take major partial. Where we can take our major partial is here. And you can see price got to that zone. Okay, and you see how price reacted there. I told you we had a pure single candle order block there, and you can see how price reacted over there. Sweep. Okay, creating another single candle order block which was tapping, and we can see price falling. Right, so now we are taking partial on this trade, and our SL is on break even. Oh wow, 1 hour. Okay, so let's see. Quick one. Let's see if price is going to hit our break even or not. All right, so price didn't hit our break even, and we can make other entries from here, but I'm not doing scaling entries today. So maybe after the lesson I'll be doing those kind of videos. Okay, all right, great. So guys, I'll end the lesson here. This is how single candle order blocks work. Like, you can use them to make multiple entries. For instance, let me see if I can show some examples here of such entries with the trend, not the counter trend, with the trend. Okay, I want to make them with the trend. Good. So we have some here. Over here like this is a single candle order block because it sweeps the low. So if you miss this entry, this is your next entry based on the single candle. But not just that you see single candle you mark. Is there imbalance? You have to take notice of that. Okay, we need that imbalance, and then price taps in and you set, and the target is still the same like the other one. Okay, so here is a normal OB. So if you want to take entry for here, you have to wait for inducement, which was never formed here. Okay, you didn't see that inducement. This is another single candle order block, and you can see price taps in. So this is another opportunity for you to scale in over here. Okay, another opportunity for you to scale in. Let's see. Okay, this didn't take the low. This is a normal order block. If we see imbalance, we can mark it and wait for inducement. Without inducement, we ignore. Okay, let's see over here. This is a normal order block. So here we have inducement. So for instance, we can scale an entry here, and you can see price came to tap into that after taking the inducement. Now we have I didn't talk about one of the inducement type. I'll make a separate video on it. That is engineering liquidity. Okay, I've not talked about that. We have the inducement liquidity, we have the engineering liquidity. I'll talk about that in a separate video. Okay, so this is how you scale in on multiple, but this one, use it with the trend, not with the counter trend. Okay guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.